All right, this is Pat from EAS Web Design. I'm going to show you a quick tutorial on Agiloft. And Agiloft is a flexible framework for doing a bunch of different functions and tasks. So it's sort of like a enterprise framework where you can build out contract support system, help and support desk tickets, project management, various workflows, things like that. And the framework's pretty flexible. And so far, the organization I'm working with is looking at this, and they're pretty happy with it too. So anyway, I'll jump right in. This will be a very quick tutorial on generally how to kind of get around and use it. So I'm going to log in. Okay, so this is something we've been fiddling with, and this is basically what it looks like, as you can see. So there's a couple different types of users that Agiloft will offer. There's what they call like a assigned user, which is sort of a power user, which is what this is here, and I can see pretty much everything here. I can see all the data tables. I can see everything. This is a total admin user here. Can do everything. Can get to the setup, can look and feel, all that kind of stuff. Then they have a floating user, which is it's like an admin user light, but it's good for anybody who needs to touch a contract or anybody who needs to do something to a support case or something like that. And then they have what's called an end user, and an end user is really just somebody who needs to submit a support case or submit a contract and just kind of view what they did and not really doesn't need to approve anything, just needs to submit. So this is the assigned user role here that you're looking at. So you can generally make the font and the colors defaulted for the power user. You can do whatever you want when you're doing the end user. You can literally make your end user portal look like anything completely under the sun with HTML and CSS and JavaScript and stuff like that. So for this client, I kind of like did the color and put a little header at the top here and put some links at the top and made these look a little different, and then with a little bit of HTML, and then here is some HTML, but I have a dashboard, and you can do like different dashboards that they have. You can switch these out, and in this particular case, the way I've set this preference up for this type of user is that when they log out, it's whatever the last state was. So if I am looking at this cool dashboard which shows a bunch of metrics, but then maybe the user of this group says, no, I want to look at this, and they log out. Now you'll see when this person logs in, the last state was this different dashboard. So now you're going to see this dashboard. So now my last state is going to be this. So when I log out, I'll see this. So you're able to create widgets, these little tile widgets here, and you can really customize them any way you want. These are kind of canned things. Here I have instructions and some instructions here. But basically, if you're going to use this as a contract system, you can set up security groups, you can set up workflows, and everything is in these tables. And you can create as many tables as you want for lots of different things. And here's a table for contract types, and you can add contract types in here, and then those will be evident when you go to create a contract. So if you're going to create a contract, you can use a template in here saying here's a contract for toner order, but this particular client is going to be using contracts, more from third-party paper, what's called third-party paper. So you can say, so click the new icon, click new, and you add your contract details. So here, I'm going to click new. You would add all your contract details, including the sort of the vendor or the company where the contract is with. if you don't know the vendor, you can actually create a new contract on the fly. So it's kind of cool. Very flexible that way. And you can upload an attachment where, so if I get a contract from a vendor that I need a series of people to look at, I would basically kind of get the electronic copy, and you can drag and drop. You can get it from your desktop and just drag and drop it in there. And then eventually, when you get everything set up to where it should be, you can go ahead, you can do a click submit for review, and then that contract will be on its way in the review process. And when you're reviewing a contract, you can actually click the contract, and you can actually sign the you can check the contract out and actually edit the contract, and then you can kind of check it back in, and so kind of redline the contract. So there's a bunch of different things you can do with this application. Oh, that doesn't look good. That looks a little better. So anyway, very quick overview of Agiloft contract management system. But again, this vendor based out of Northern California, it's been around since '91. They offer many different types of sort of enterprise tasks: help desk tickets, support tickets, contract management, project management, workflow for approvals, for purchase orders, things like that. They do a lot of different things, and it seems like a pretty cool piece of software. So if you have any questions, you can email me at the letter X, at easwebdesign.com. And as always, thank you very much for watching.